It was a crash that never should have happened. Melissa Oates was drunk when she got behind the wheel. Then, speeding down the road, her car hit and killed her boyfriend, Jari Wise. But remarkably, Oates claimed the collision wasn't her fault because he jumped out in front of her. Jari's mother, Faith Tkalac, has always disputed that story and has been pushing for a coronial inquiry. Now, 3 years on, her persistence has paid off. Jari Wise was 26 when he was hit by a car and callously left to die on the roadside. Incredibly, the person driving the vehicle wasn't a stranger. In fact, it was his girlfriend of 3 years, Melissa Oates. Drunk and speeding at 110 k's an hour, Melissa claims Jari's death was his own fault, that he in fact jumped out in front of her speeding car. Even stranger, Tasmania police believed her, and she was only ever charged with dangerous driving. It was a devastating decision that Jari's mother, Faith Tkalac, refused to accept.
The way the law has worked here, it's almost suggested that she is not to blame for his death, but Jari is to blame for the death.
Yes. Yeah, where if you take away the incredibly intoxicated woman doing 110, Jari could be doing cartwheels on the road and still be alive. How does her dangerous driving and his death not go hand in hand? Obviously it caused his death.
To jump in front of a car that's doing 110 k an hour.
You know you're going to die. Jari would not want to die. Jari was not suicidal, and that breaks my heart.
So the grieving mother doggedly started her own investigation. Eventually, in a big win, Faith obtained the police brief of evidence for the crime.
It's been estimated by police that that was 110 kilometres per hour.
Former New South Wales Police Detective Gary Jubilant scrutinised the evidence, including the powerful CCTV footage that revealed where Melissa Oates drove in the minutes leading up to Jari's death. If you compiled this brief of evidence, what would you want that person charged with?
I think there's certainly a case that warrants a manslaughter charge to, at the very least, be considered.
The medical evidence also raised red flags. Pathologist Tony Thomas concluded that Jari's injuries and the damage to Melissa Oates' car didn't match up with her story that Jari had jumped in front of her speeding vehicle.
The court seemed to be told at times that Jari was in the middle of this roadway. From what you've seen, does that stack up?
Not really, because if he was in the middle of the roadway, such as this, he would be facing the car full on, and the distribution of the injuries that he received doesn't actually match that. So I think he's more that way and more back here. He's been hit on the gravel verge or on the junction of the verge and the road, and he's not been standing on the road.
That's not where someone who was jumping in front of a car would be.
No, not at all. No, I completely agree.
Armed with this new information, Faith asked for a coronial inquiry, but was knocked back. She appealed the decision in the Tasmanian Supreme Court. Again, it was denied. But in what's believed to be a first for Tasmania, just hours after Faith's appeal was lost, the state's Attorney-General stepped in and directed the coroner to have an inquest into Jari's death.
Why are you so keen on a coronial inquest? What's that going to bring for you?
Well, I want these people that have made these allegations that my son, basically his death was his own fault. I want them to be questioned, and I want all to see. I want the truth to be told.
But never one to rest, Faith has now persuaded Tasmania's Attorney-General to introduce new laws in state parliament. Called Jari's Law, it's to guarantee a coronial inquest must be held if there's suspicion that a death was caused by domestic violence.
If Jari had killed her, there would have been candlelit vigils. There'd be a memorial There'd be a park. There'd be a foundation set up. Had my son run over a female and left her alone on the road to die, I wouldn't have to be reaching out to the world saying, where's the justice for my child?
How often do you find yourself thinking about what happened that night?
Every single minute I'm thinking about this. And if I'm not, then I'm racked with guilt for not. It's consumed me, and I know that it's unhealthy, but I cannot let go, and I will not let go of this. My son matters.
Hello, I'm Tom Steinfort. Thank you for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. And don't miss out on our extra minutes segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes, which are on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.